Hey friends, I'm Chronically Jenni and I'm known as the Queen of Hacks for chronic illness and disability over on Instagram, but I wanted to make sure that you had so much more detail on some of your favourite hacks. So I'm doing these long form videos here on YouTube so that you can get all the details you need, as well as all the links to all the things that I mentioned to help me live a slightly easier life as someone with chronic illness and disability. Today we are in my kitchen because we are starting with kitchen hacks, because I think this is one of the most requested things. And although cooking is not really something that I'm able to do very much of myself, these are the things that I've picked up over the years when I have been more able to that might help you. First up, I'm going to start with the thing I'm sitting on. This is my wheelie stool. It's a saddle stool and it just means that I can move around the kitchen. I had a perching stool, and a perching stool is much better if you don't have as much movement or strength, because these can be a little bit tippy if you lean the wrong way, although I'm not going anywhere. But this means that you can move around, because that's what I used to hate about having a stool in the kitchen at my old place, is that I'd have to, no sooner had I sat down, I'd have to get up, and that just makes my pots 10 times worse. So this means that I can go over here to the fridge, get something out, and bring it over to the cooker, nice and easy, and I can still reach things in my cupboards. Next up, we have this palm peeler. Now, in all honesty, I'd never peel veg, I just eat it with the skins on. But if you do want to peel, this is a really handy tool. So it's a peeler on one side, it's nice and safe. And on the other side, it just literally hooks into your fingers. So you don't have to grip or do anything. And it's as easy as that to do some peeling. Next up, this is one of my ultimate hacks. It's one of my favourite gadgets ever. This was one of the very first things that I got to help me in the kitchen, mainly when I was still at uni. And it's this ergonomic knife, which is kind of like L-shaped. And with a normal knife, especially with hypermobile fingers like me, I really, really struggle to put any force through my fingers and just risk bending them out of shape. And it's not very comfortable. This means that you put all the pressure through your wrist and you can just cut like this, and it makes it so much easier to cut anything. It's not a particularly expensive one either. I think it's about £17 now. I think it was about £13 when I bought it, but it's a really handy tool to have. They also have a bread version. I've never gotten one because I don't cut bread, but if you do cut bread a lot, then that's a really, really handy tool. Next up is another absolute firm favourite in my household, and this is the automatic tin opener. I have had this for years now, and when I moved out, my mum had to buy one because she got so used to using it, and my nana also has one. Ian uses this, my support workers use this. There is nothing else in the house that opens tins because this is so fantastic. It retails for roughly £20-ish, and there are better and worse versions, but I've found this version really, really helpful, and of course all the links for all of these gadgets will be in the description below, but let's show you how it works. All you have to do is place it on your tin and it magnetically attracts, and then you press the start button. It goes round in a little circle on its own until it's all done. You have to keep an eye on it because otherwise it will just keep going round and round and round. But to stop it, again, you just press this nice handy button on the top. It doesn't take too much pressure to do, and then all you have to do is lift it off and the lid should come with it. If it doesn't, you just have to prise the lid up a little bit, but it makes life so much easier for opening tins. I would recommend this to literally anybody. Doesn't matter whether you have a disability or chronic illness or not. It makes such a difference. Next up, I have all these different opening tools, and they all do good different jobs on different things. This one is mainly something that I have at home to open jars and bottles, but this one will also do most of the same things with the other side, but this has actually got a 6-in-1 function, so I'll show you all of those functions in a second. This one's for opening your cans, tins, things like that with a pull loop. And then this one is kind of the classic that I think most people have in their homes, which is for opening bottles and jars. But I ultimately find these two options a little bit easier. So let's go through them. With this one, you can open all different sized jars, bottles, whatever you need, with each different sized circle. That one's actually a little bit too big for this, which is where the other tool comes in. because this one is openable to literally any size you need and works in exactly the same way. You just put it round the jar and hey presto, you can open it nice and easily and also use it to put the jar lid back on. So yes, the letdown of this is that it can only be used on specific sized things, but you do often get it like in a pack with some of the other openers that I've just mentioned. So this will do this smaller jar on the tighter setting, works in exactly the same way. And then it can also do much smaller things like bottles, which the other tool struggles with. Let's find a bottle. And again, nice and easy, off with this, rather than trying to grip the bottle itself. So this is a cool little 6-in-1 tool, and I'm going to try and see if I can remember all 6 ways you can use it. It's got a bottle opener to open any like alcoholic type bottles that have got a cap. It's got a tiny little blade which won't hurt your finger but will open packets, for example, Coco's treats. Let's see if she comes in after this. So all you have to do is press down and slice, and yeah. And it has ripped through that. I might need to go one more time, but obviously it's open because Coco knows it is. Oh, now I've opened it too low. This is a comedy of errors. There we go, we got there. You want a treat now, don't you? Alright, pause up. Sit. Pause up. Pause. Watch. Good girl. Go on in. It's got a thing to open pull rings or cans. You can also use it, or you're supposed to be able to use it to grip on if you've got a yogurt pot or a fruit pot or something like that to pull the lid off. But I've never found it particularly successful at that because you still have to have a fair amount of grip to do it, but it is possible. And then, as I showed you before, it opens any kind of sized bottle or any kind of sized jar. So this is really useful, especially to take with you out and about if you need a little handy tool to use. And then we have this one, which is similar and I think came in the same packet. Again, you've got a bottle opener there and something that is a bit better at doing those pull rings. Lots of people have also asked if you're able to open medication bottles with this tool, and since medication bottles like this aren't something we usually get in the UK, I haven't been able to try it, but this is actually Coco's medication, so let's give it a go. So let's find the right size. I think that smaller one will work. This is like a child lock bottle. So let's see if it'll do it. Yeah, nice and easy. A very helpful little tool. Next up, we have these grip toggles. They come in 2 different sizes and they're helpful in a multitude of ways, not just in the kitchen, but I'll show you how I would use them in the kitchen. So first of all, you can toggle them on. That one's a little bit large for that wooden spoon, so I'll get one of the smaller ones. And you can toggle that on to the handle of pretty much anything you're using to make it easier to grip. You can put it like that and hold it in whatever way you need to help stir, to help you just hold on to something. It makes life so much easier, and you can use it with hairbrushes, you can use it with toothbrushes or kitchen utensils, whatever you need. But the other really clever thing about these is that they are great for helping open doors and drawers. So the little hexagon here that was helping to keep it between your fingers can also be used as like a suction pad, and you can use the other end to pull. So all you have to do is stick it to a drawer. It doesn't have to be a particularly decent surface. Mine are fairly dodgy wooden drawers. You just stick it on there. And voila, you can open a drawer, and you can also open doors. Finally, we have using pre-prepared, pre-chopped, microwavable foods that make life a lot easier and more time-consuming. They are not lazy, they are a necessity for people with chronic illnesses and disabilities, and they are a way of getting that support. First up, we have microwavable pouches like rice, which make it a lot easier. We don't have to deal with a heavy kettle or pan to cook rice. We can just pop it in the microwave. Then I've got some pre-chopped mushrooms here, so no chopping has to be done. I also love these little packs of pre-chopped frozen chilli and garlic and all the herbs and spices that you might need that can just go straight into cooking. To be honest, my partner Ian uses those way more than I do. But something that I use all the time if I am having to fend for myself in terms of food are these steam bags. It's got all different sorts of veg, all pre-cut and pre-chopped. 2-3 minutes in the microwave and you've got some veg, which is so helpful. In terms of other things in the kitchen, I'm very lucky to have a dishwasher, and I know a lot of people who live on their own or who have mobility issues that have like a small tabletop dishwasher that really helps them. And the other thing I have, and I'm very lucky to have, is a cleaner who comes in once every 2 weeks, and my mother-in-law who comes in once a week to clean the kitchen because Hurricane Ian in the kitchen is a thing in our house because he makes a fair bit of mess. But those are the things that help us keep on top of living with a disability and chronic illness and keeping the kitchen tidy and usable and making sure that we can get everything that we need. If you have any other questions or any other tips you'd like to share that you use in your kitchen in the comments, please do let us know. And also, if you want the links for anything that's been mentioned in this video, you can also check out the description to find those, or head to my website www.chronicallyjenni.com and go to the hacks section for all these hacks and loads more for all different areas of your house. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because there'll be lots more hacks videos coming for you very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again for another video.